What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Hope everybody's doing well. Today's episode is going to be brought to you by Mystery Ranch, built for the mission. And if you haven't been rocking a Mystery Ranch Fireline pack, well, that sucks to be you, dog. Because your back probably hurts, and it's got to be uncomfortable. But they make arguably the most comfortable, the most well-built, and have the bitchinest warranty in the wildland fire game. So go over to www.mysteryranch.com and check out their Fireline packs if you want to upgrade. But also while you're at it, I want you guys to go over there and check out both the 3-way expandable briefcase and the Urban Assault 21 packs, both in Wildfire Black. The reason why? Well, a portion of the proceeds from those pack sales, both the 3-way briefcase and the Urban Assault 21 pack, it's going to go back to those folks in the field that are telling the story of wildland fire. How do they do that, you say? Well, go and check out the Backbone series. What it is a storytelling platform and giving the real story on the line. It's kind of an educational campaign, if you will, to educate the public and tell the story of wildland fire here in the United States. Yeah, there's $1,000 scholarship up for grabs via the Mystery Ranch Backbone series. So if you want your opportunity to win, well, go over to www.mysteryranch.com and check out the Backbone series. Tell your story, don't write it in crayon, make it good, and you have an opportunity to win one of these $1,000 scholarships. So once again, go over to www.mysteryranch.com and check it out. The Anchor Point Podcast is also going to be brought to you by our premier coffee sponsor, and that's going to be none other than Hotshot Brewery. It's kick-ass coffee for a kick-ass cause, where a portion of the proceeds will always go back to the Wildland Firefighter Foundation. And if you happen to want to get your hands on some other merch, well, they have a plethora of all of the stuff to help rep that wildland firefighter lifestyle, like a full line of apparel and all of the tools of the trade to get your morning started off right. And check this out. If you go over to www.hotshotbrewing.com, you could check out a little bit of my merch as well. So if you're looking for one of those Fire Fiend t-shirts or one of those Band of Brothers t-shirts, well, you can get it all over there at www.hotshotbrewing.com. Go check it out. The Anchor Point Podcast is also going to be brought to you by our buddy Booze over at the A.S.S movement. Yeah, and if you don't know what the A.S.S movement is, well, it stands for the anti-surface shitting movement, and it is the finest, the end-all be-all in poo-burying propaganda. I don't know about you, but I absolutely hate going fly fishing or camping or hunting or any of this outdoor activities on our public lands, and inevitably seeing a gift-wrapped human turd sitting there on the ground. Yeah, it's disgusting, and that shit needs to stop. Good thing for you all today. Well, the Booze Man, Mr. A.S.S Movement himself, is live and in studio today. So we're going to get a little bit of inside knowledge about his business and why you shouldn't do your business without doing it properly. So if you want the finest in poo-bearing propaganda and want to spread the word about burying your turds, go over to www.thefirewild.com and check out the A.S.S Movement. Yeah, it's awesome. So go over there. Check it out. Awesome. Get a turd trowel. Get a poster. Get whatever. Make people stop pooping on awesome public lands. Anyways, go over to www.thefirewild.com and check out the A.S.S Movement. The Anchor Point Podcast is also going to be brought to you by the Smoky Generation, also known as the American Wildfire Experience, which is not just sequestered to America anymore. It's actually telling the story of wildland fire across the globe, which is freaking awesome. So if you haven't checked that out, I highly suggest you do, and go over to www.wildfireexperience.org. Yeah, they got stories about wildland firefighting dating all the way back to the 1940s. So yeah, it's kind of a good little history lesson. Anyways, also, they give back to the community in a huge way as well. They do the Smoky Generation Grant Program. So if you happen to be telling the story of wildland fire, whether you're a writer, blogger, photographer, cinematographer, anybody who's telling the story of wildland fire, go over to www.wildfireexperience.org and check it out. Submit your story. You might have one of these $500 grants up for grabs. So, Bethany, you have a kick-ass organization over there. Keep it up. The views and opinions of this podcast do not reflect the views and opinions of the United States government, the Department of the Interior, the Department of Defense, the Department of Agriculture, the United States Forest Service, the Bureau of Land Management, National Park Service, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, or any private, municipal, county, or state firefighting organization, any law enforcement agency, any medical provider, or any contractor employed by any federal agency. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. So today on the episode, we are going to have a long one. And just a heads up, this is going to be a split episode. So this is going to be part one, which is actually his second time on the show. So part one of two, I guess. Anyways, so today on the show, we're going to talk about a little bit of fire philosophy and we're just going to banter. We're just going to kind of like go where the episode goes. And I hope you guys enjoy it. You guys and girls out there enjoy it. And yeah, it's got some pretty tasty tidbits as far as, you know, life, the universe and everything. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. We're going to talk about networking and the power of it, how the power of the future of fire is quite literally in your hands. We're going to talk about some leadership concepts. We're going to talk about everything here. And this is, once again, part one of two. So make sure you finish this episode and then tune in next week once you finish this and listen to part two. So once again, I'd like to introduce my good friend, Mr. Micah Booze. Welcome to the Anchor Point. Booze man, Micah Booze, what's going on, brother?
Nada, man. Just happy to be here. Happy to be alive and breathing, my friend. Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome to the casa / studio / spare bedroom / whatever you want to call it, man.
Yeah, the bed's comfortable. I hit it pretty hard last night. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. Have a little barbecue.
This is number two. This is number two. Me being here. So I come down in October, right?
Yeah, I want to say October.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, this past year, made a little detour from a fire. And man, you know how to host. I'll put it that way.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I'm flattered.
My man.
So Booze, man, this is actually the second time we met in person, really, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. We just off air, offline, we're talking about it, and it's pardon me, it's weird because I guess to put in a little bit of perspective with words rather than just you and me talking offline with naughty words, but with more intellectual insight and perspective. We've been communicating for a long time now with both of our stuff that we'll probably get into eventually in the tirades here. But yeah, just show up and it's like a hug, and then me casa, you casa mentality, and I think fire is fire is that way in general. But yeah, man, I feel pretty extremely, not pretty, but extremely blessed and fortunate to have these ties and bonds. But it's even next level with, you know, guys like you and Mayfield, and Mayfield's another one, same scenario. Like, yo, Boo, stop at my house and my couch is yours. I got an extra bed. And I got good stories on Mayfield. So when you're listening to this, Mayfield, maybe I'll keep some on between you and me. But yeah, it's a special feeling, and it's to show up. And, you know, we've had so many phone calls and, you know, bouncing ideas off each other and support.
Well, shit, even the first podcast, it was remote, right?
Yeah, totally remote. And that was pre all the C word that I don't want to invoke. And then all that stuff happened. And when I came down here in October. So I guess it was last year, but it was only a few good months ago. And, yeah, all that, it was almost like your 19th cousin on your mom and dad.
Twice removed.
Yeah, twice removed, a couple few divorces here and there. And you show up, I show up, and it's like, man, where you been? You know, and that, man, that's special to me. And you know how I am. I'm a sentimental dude and all about the love in this stuff. And man, it's special to me. It really is. And so I super big namaste on that shit, dude.
Yeah, man. That's the way it should be, though. It's just no different than your fire bros or your fire sisters, whatever. You know, it's the same shit, dude. And once you connect with somebody, it's that's your bro.
It's gold. It's gold. And this morning I woke up and, we had a damn good time last night.
Too good of a night.
And I scolded you hard. I'm going to make that public for my own accountability.
Yeah. What was it? Hold on. Let's fucking
Mickey style. Go ahead.
Let's pump the brakes here. What was with that like introspective like dad shit last night, man? You were riding my ass. I'm sorry, I'm not holding the flashlight, Dad.
It was exactly. You stopped shaking. I'm trying to drill a screw in. And I was on your ass, but it was like, again, I'm going to access my Rocky side flavor. Like the Mickey stuff. It's like, I wanted to slap you in the face because you don't know, and we're already diving into heavy stuff, but you don't know what you're doing. I don't want to get into that in a little bit, as far as you don't know what you're doing, how empowering you are. And like and we talked about it at having a beer and some slices of pie earlier at the pizza store, and you've got this huge, not even responsibility, but you have this huge like, it's like you don't know how good you are, man. You're like that. Yeah, you like that. Man, I got so many funny things going in my mind right now about some of these conversations we've had, like prior to this snap,
like circa 12 hours ago.
Just circa like an hour ago, and but yeah, and last night. But like, to put that in perspective, and like to help you heal the whelps on your ass that I gave you, like. You're baller, dude, and you're helping everybody when you don't even know you're helping everybody. When you're having a hard day, it's like I was telling you, like, look yourself in the mirror. This cool run, I've been saying it, like, I've been wearing it out to everybody, but it helps me, and I think it's funny, but it's true. Like looking yourself in the mirror, and like I was saying earlier, it's like sometimes I just want to shake you and get you in front of a mirror and do the cool runnings deal. And dude's down on himself, and his buddy's like, look in the mirror, and he's like, look in the mirror, and he's like, and tell you, and to say this, I see pride, I see power, I see one bad mother that don't take no crap from no, and that's like a special thing. And I was on you last night, and granted, I'd had maybe just one extra drink. I can't remember because of that one extra drink.
I think it was one extra drink that kind of like sent it over the edge into like scolding me like a fucking disappointed father.
No, it's because I got
love.
Oh, dude, you have no idea how much love I feel right now. Last night was so good for my soul.
Yeah,
and we had our homies, like people that I never met, but it was so good to share love and hugs with these people. And I brought some salmon and cooked that stuff up. And
dude, that was so good.
It
hit a little different, dude.
I'm super glad you guys liked it and enjoyed it, but it meant it to me, man. It was like grandma making you a quilt, and then she put her damn love into this art, and like handing it out and like just smiling because you got to give something to somebody else and like make them smile, and that's like worth a zillion smiles in my heart. And I'm already getting sentimental and stuff, but man, I had so much love last night. And then the other gesture that I got to do that, well, doesn't need to be talked about, just because I want it to be special to me. And man, I'm telling you, dude, like I'd never met those people, and Alyssa and Hunter, what a great couple of two young firefighters that that I would have seen on a fire, and that I had to like, say, hey, cheers, and then walked on, but to like get to know them and open up to them and let them hear my craziness. Cause man, I'm crazy. And I
don't think you're crazy. I think you're just on a different level,
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong, but I'm an asshole.
Everybody's an asshole.
No, I was joking. That's my Walter quote, but, yeah, man, it was so special. And then our homie, from the National Park Disc Service. I don't know if I need to say his name. I don't know where he's at on that, but I'll just protect his privacy. But he's actually my artist. We've talked about that, and just to like incorporate him into this whole gathering. And he has no like fire jargon experience, but he's just sitting there grinning and soaking it up. It was awesome. That dude's hilarious.
It was cool.
Go
to see that,
follow that guy, National Park Disc Service. It's satire. And then Art, your buddy.
Art's he's a cool motherfucker, dude. I love that guy.
Man, and it was so special. And shout out to Art. Like, what a good dude. And going fishing with him today, and you
little fly fishing,
taking his fly fishing virginity away from him and getting him addicted to something so stinking expensive.
I think he's a believer, dude. I think he's like
no,
pumped.
He's on.
He's hooked. There's your dad joke. Everybody gets one.
But yeah, and Mayfield did the same thing to me. Man, that guy's became one of my mentors. And for those there's a lot of people that don't know who I'm saying. I'm talking about with Mayfield, but he's the fire program manager at Mystery Ranch, and the dude's a baller. And when he came on your show, I was giving him hell and like trying to pump him up too, the pride and power, before I had that in my repertoire. And
he's one of those dudes that needs to jack down. He's like, I Mayfield, bro, I got nothing but love for you, but you are the most self-critical son of a bitch I've ever
he was critical,
met.
but
he's critical of himself, but he's his own worst enemy.
But that makes greatness too, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I support him. Like if he's got to be critical, I'm gonna help him be critical. I guess.
I think it's just because he doesn't want to give anything but the best back to the world.
And he's a giver too, dude. And
100%.
And he opened his, just like you had. I was gonna say, like, it made my morning. Like, this is what I do at home. But I got to pick your boy up this morning, and I'm listening to Bob Marley every morning. That's my therapy.
Little Levi.
And judge me if you want. Like, I know a lot of people can't handle Bob Marley, but that dude puts smiles on my face on the inside, and helps me be okay with this world we live in. And I picked up Levi this morning and just started dancing with him. He's loving it, and it made me happy too. Like, that's what I do with my baby at home. I play Bob Marley every day for that, just to like get in the zone. And so yeah, it's special. And the same thing with like Mayfield opening his house up, grilling, and then taking me out on the Bozeman town for the Booze Man. And that's special. Like, I mean, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if somebody would have, like, I met somebody on stupid ass Instagram, and I love Dave Chappelle, his quote of like, Twitter ain't a real place. So I don't care what somebody says there. But Instagram ain't really a real place other than this platform to be used for, 51% good or evil, depending on how you're using it. And I'll get into the troll situation in a minute. But for if you'd have said 5 years ago or whatever, 10 years ago rather, because I was still kind of starting my hustle at 5 years ago, this side stuff and network. But I've always been decent at the networking game. I mentioned all that stuff, and I'm talking sporadic shotgun here, but I'm coming back around full circle. But if you'd have said like 10 years ago, hey Booze, I'm gonna be up in Alaska. Can I crash on your couch? Or hey, I'm gonna be in town. Like, you want to go for beers? And I'd be like, yeah, we'll go out for a beer or two or whatever. Let's get to know each other and such. And but to like straight up right away, like, hey Brandon, I'm gonna be in town. You can go for beers. Yeah, you can stay at my house. Like, I would have never done that. And now, like, I get this like love everywhere I go type of thing. And my man Golden attorneys at law, Jonathan Golden, he's like, next time you're in Salt Lake City, just hit me up, man. I want to hang. And I'm like, my man. And I receive all this love, and it's like I got to start. It's hard for me. I just want to put a mirror up and like shine that reflection of like love back to everybody. And but it means a lot, Brandon. I'm very humbled and grateful in this world for what I've created, but most importantly, what's created like for and to me from all the yous, right? And you big, huge player you are, and to me and for me. And yeah, man, and Mayfield, same thing. And I'll get off Mayfield, and he's probably getting tired of hearing his name on this thing, but man, it's special.
No. I mean, please lay into him. Like, I'm laying into me last night.
This is me laying into him, dude. And I got to tour Mystery Ranch, and I already kind of again knew a couple of the players there over the phone and whatever with them, and just to get like, I felt like I was Borat with the chair, and I'm the king of the castle. I'm the king of the castle. And dude Lebowski had the key to the city, and so man, I'm so humbled, dude, and. I mean, I'll just leave it at that. Like, it makes me kind of speechless, and I get even more sentimental thinking about all you guys. Which I guess I should segue into what like I had planned. And I told you, like, I really wanted to toot some horns. And if you want to like skip this part, but it's worth listening to all these people in what you are doing and what we, the royal we are doing. Man, I'm stoked. And so like, it's hard for me to listen to podcasts all the time, and I just grab a fire podcast like this, and this is no knock to you because I'm very fucking stoked and proud on you, and I just said the F word, and I told you that's not
you got my brain to say whatever you want, man.
I know, but my intent is to not go that route. But this is from the heart, so I said it. But when I heard Kevin Conley's podcast, aka Backcountry Ninjas on Instagram at Backcountry Ninjas, man, that like. I don't know. There was something there. The way it hit me different than, and I wanted to coin this term, the mental health awakening for everybody. But for you too, especially. And man, maybe that's what coined the term in my mind. But this mental health awakening, and this dude not knowing what the hell to do about it, man. It's like it's like he's so anxious to like solve his own problem. And man, this is deep. To solve his own problem with this depression stuff. And shout out to you, Kevin, like big, huge shout out, like hugs over the radio waves here. But like something so trivial, and it almost sounds narcissistic in a way, like prejudging something without knowing the backstory. I'm going to ride my bike across the country. And I'm like, okay, sweet, dude. But you know what? Like when I heard his story, talking about that stuff, man, it moved me.
Shit got real.
Man, it did.
Got real, dude.
It did.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about, I mean, it was about him. It totally was about him, like 49%. And
he needed to heal, man.
That's how he needed to heal, dude.
That's important,
it's
dude.
like
you get one person, if you say one person, dude, and he did it himself. Like
totally.
He started that mission. No one said, hey, go do this.
It doesn't matter if he would have jogged from like Bellingham, Washington down to Baja, California on the beach only with no shoes. And like, that's how I'm doing it. And then he's on all these news channels and stuff and like getting hyped up and blown up and rightly so. Like, I'm proud of this dude. It doesn't matter what he chose to do. It's that he chose to do something and then he did it. And I think that's a big deal, man. And that's a part of like this suffer struggle thing is like moving through it. And we were talking earlier, like sometimes it really sucks to like put one foot in front of the other. It hurts. Every move hurts. Like you just got done playing 12 overtimes in a basketball game and you never came out of the game and you're sore. And this dude was sore on the inside, man. And everybody has like some sort of struggle or suffering. If they haven't, it's coming. Like just be ready and find your peeps and stuff. And I'm sure we'll get into that in a minute because I'm already ahead of myself on the mental health awakening. But like I really wanted to toot his horn. That was a moving story and I'm so proud of him. And to raise money for it's one thing to like go do it and maybe not tell anybody and like do your self-healing and stuff and your journey and your quest. But to like make money for the foundation and man, I don't know. It moved me. It was inspiring. Kudos, Kevin. Proud of you. And if you haven't listened to that episode, stop listening to me and go listen to it. It was a couple episodes ago on this show.
It's 3 of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, shit. Yeah. And so I wanted to toot his horn. I haven't got to meet him yet.
He's good.
I'm sure I will. The universe has a way of like letting me be the water drop and aligning stars for me and finding the cracks and making things happen and move stuff. And then drawing people together like just like we're talking about with the National Park Disservice dude coming over last night. And all those things. And then meeting people there's a reason, man. And if it ain't for you, it's for them. And so that's the way you should look at it. But my man Pulaski Shovels and Man.
He's solid, man. I love him.
Yep. And that guy does a lot for the community too. So if you're not following him, I'm sure you are. That dude's got like 40 or 50,000 followers on his way to the top. So cheers to that. Our girl Shuey. Yeah, she's done so much. She's in regular combo with me, and she's a damn sweetheart and a like amazing artist. Very, very great artist. And I think it takes a special soul to do that. And somebody that's been a firefighter and is not anymore, but like is still and immersed in wanting to help that community. And it's like, she's still a part of it. I'm stoked on Shuey. She's a blessed soul, like a good person. You
know how you're giving me that dad lecture?
Yeah.
All right. When we were in Boise for the fundraiser, I was giving her a little bit of that shit too. I ain't gonna lie.
Dude, we all need
Shuey, I'm so sorry, but I'd never forget this. Never forget this statement. But when I said you got power behind that paintbrush, I meant it.
Yeah. She's
it's moving, man. It's moving.
That quote, and I even just read it for like the 19th time. It's one of those pride and power comments in my mind. But it's that the purpose of life is to find the meaning of life is to find your gift. And I'm going to butcher this, but the purpose of your life is to, once you find that gift, to give it away. And I think she does that, man. I think a lot of artists do. Like dude. Nicole Christian, great artist, same thing. And she's a busy person, but man, she's baller behind, whether she's drawing, painting, or on the digital scene with Adobe. I don't know the game like that as far as with or else I'd be doing, I sketch my own art and stuff, but for my artist, but otherwise I wouldn't be paying somebody to help me out there. But
yeah, definitely not artistic.
Yeah.
Not to that degree. That's like next level between Shuey and Nicole, man.
Oh, totally.
Next level.
Yeah, I got Hotshot Brewery. I wanted to toot his horn too. Man, that guy does some good stuff, like outside of a business model. I had a dude hit me up, and this is about, well, it's about the dude that hit me up and about what Hotshot Brewery did. And this made me really respect him. So shout out to you, Mr. Hotshot Brewery. There was a dude that hit me up, and I don't know, you get to the point and you're there. There's a lot of us that are, behind the curtain that know a lot of stuff and know a lot of people and do this network and Dale Carnegie stuff. But he hit me, or I hit him up actually. And I was really stoked on the quick response I got from him. And this is what he's doing, man. Love him or hate him, or like his coffee or don't like his coffee or any of his merch. Like, who cares? Same thing with all of us and the ass movement and you. With,
oh yeah.
Like, I had this dude hit me up, and like, he was like, I felt like he was hanging 10 over the edge, like getting ready to.
He's about ready to leap. Yeah,
he was ready to jump, and and these are his words. Like and I can't even remember it all, but I just remember being worried, and it sunk my heart that some dude just sent me a message like, I'm thinking about like doing it. And I don't even like talking about this stuff, but it's hard to say is what I'm getting at. Not that I don't want to talk about it, but this dude's hitting me up like he's over the line, Walter Sobchak style, and getting ready to jump type of thing. And man, and it was like at 10:30 night, Alaska time. And I just remember like getting in bed and like I couldn't sleep. Like, man. So I'm like spitballing and rapid fire, like shooting this dude back a DM, like, yo. And crickets. And like a day goes by. I'm like, man, I'm worried. 2 days go by. I'm like, and I'd already kind of like started making contacts, like, and I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude type of guy. But I do, like, my superpower is network, man. But
you give a shit though. That's a compassion. That's a human element,
for
man.
Sure. And we talked about that over the beer and pizza a minute ago. And we'll dive into that in a second. But it sank me, man. I put a hole in my boat for a minute. And so I hit Hotshot Brewery up, and I was like, yo, dude, you getting any messages from this dude? Again, like, once whatever, I'm not going to go that route. But so I hit him up, and he's like, boom, message him too. Like, we're like full frontal assault. And I'm sure there was one or two others that were helping that I didn't know, but he got the same messages. He got the same message. Excuse you. Geez, that was rude.
I'm like on the ass end. That was cold still. I'm sorry, dude.
Listeners, I'm so sorry.
I'm dying.
And dude, it was rapid fire response. Type 1, we went after it. And I say the royal we again, like I'm just one of the puzzle pieces, a small one. But I was just impressed, man. Like, dude was ready to go, jumped in. Like, this is what we need. Like, I'll hit him up too. I got the same message. And so then I hit Mayfield up. I'm like, yo, dude, what's the, give me some avenues and routes real quick, because I don't got time to look them up. And boom. And so I hit Hotshot Brewery up 2 days later after like some angst and worry. And I'm like, yo, do you hear it? He's like, man, I'm going to hit him up again. I haven't heard anything back yet. And hit him up. And finally we got a pulse, and it was, and like, man, I felt better, and dude was struggling, yada yada. And then like what I get down here yesterday, so 2 days ago, the day before I'm leaving from Alaska to come down here, I got a message from Hotshot Brewery, and it was kind of like the opposite thing. Like, he's hitting me up. It's like, yo, let's check on this dude and
get
together.
A pulse check,
status check on a different subject or case. And man, I'm no expert, man, and I really wanted to say, I'll say it in a minute, but like, the struggle's real, dude. The suffer's there, and I want to talk about that just briefly a little bit here in a minute. But so yeah, I'm stoked on what he does, and I'll digress and move on. But I got love for that. I mean, that says that's action. That's not words, and I respect that about him. Man, I got some names written down here. I don't want to say them all. But my man Murph, this guy's not a Instagram dude, but my man Murph, like, shout out to you, Murphy. This dude's on Billings Hell Attack, and a solid person. But through some of my struggles, this was one of my go-to guys, and this, no judge. I mean, it's like, dude's therapist, man. Like, he's my man, ride or die. And I don't really love that term, but it's embodied through this dude. And man, if I never wanted to give up a kidney. I would give up both for this dude. Like, he's my man. So shout out to Murphy. And then there's another individual that probably doesn't need to be named either. This person will know who they are once I dive in this little thing. And I'm just trying to shoot some love out of my chest, Care Bear stare style real quick. And then we can talk about cool stuff, and I'll shut up about all this. But this person just like, helped me through some struggles, very universally aligned, thinks a lot about some of the same things I do, like philosophically and in depth and depthful stuff. And yeah, this person knows who they are. Just got to say number 13, they know. So cheers, big cheers and hugs. Mystery Ranch, holy cow, where to begin and where to end. There's not an ending to them. Like,
there's so much shit going on with them. There's so much, like people don't even, like, they see the surface, but like that like subterranean, all the little layers underneath.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I agree, and like so much love there and respect. I've always been a dude, like, I'm not like touting brands. I'm not like, if I'm gonna buy a shirt, I just like to be blank. I don't want to be like paying to advertise for somebody else. Like, I'm paying to buy this shirt to advertise for you.
Billboard,
right? Like, like Billabong or whatever the heck, or whatever your jam is. Who cares? Yeah. But like Mystery Ranch, dude, like big. Wow. These dudes are baller, and Mayfield's big thanks to, like, big huge part of that. So is Uncle Dana. So is Maddie Duffy. She's a big part of it. I don't know if I'm supposed to even bring her into this at all, but if she hears me, Mayfield needs to tell her. Like, big huge cheers, dude. These people are love. And I'll stop about them. But in that same vein, we got the Reba Duncans. I got a super cool, like, god dang, stars align. It's crazy how things happen in life, and I'm so thankful for my life, dude. Like, it's such a man, it's such a cool journey. I'm sitting at this brewery in Billings, Montana. I did 30 days, and this is a crew like I frequent, and anybody knows me knows that I love that crew, and that's again where Murphy is. So it's like, it's easy, and my homeboy's the soup on that crew. But I'm sitting at I just had this easy place, like a flip-flop walk away from my hotel, and I go down there. And I'm having my dinner, and I have my, like, 1 or 2 beers only type of thing, just so I can not be staggering back to the hotel. And I look across and I see this. I mean,
she kind of got hair like you,
bro.
I'm just saying.
I was trying to be careful in the way I said it, but yeah, totally. And
or she got hair like you, or vice versa.
She would say she has hair like, or I have hair like her, but I'm gonna steal it back. But man, either way, I got love for Reba if you're listening. All the things she's done, and same thing with Kelly Martin, but I'll get into her in a second. But Reba, I was sitting at this, bar. I'm by myself, so I just naturally sit at the bar, and like, I just want to have this human experience with the bartender and make him feel like a human, and I want to feel like a human and feel some goodness in the world and invest in somebody's soul. And I look over, and there's this hair, and I'm like,
I know that hair,
man. That there's not many of us. And like this, and
flowing locks,
with some curls, dog. And I said, that's gotta be Reba. And so I look next to her, and there's this dreaded out dirtbag looking ex-fire guy. I'm like, totally. I mean, when you see a fire person in your fire, you
just know.
And I was like, totally. And then another dude that looked, haggard fire guy, and it was basically a SISM team. But I was like, I found that out later. But I sent over a round of drinks for him, and I'm like, hey, they were like tabbing out, getting out. I'm like, make them sit back down, and send these over. And so then I like let them get their first few sips, so I didn't interrupt their little party. I was gonna say something else, Forrest Gump quote, but and I walk over there, and she doesn't see me walking over. And I have a Mystery Ranch shirt on, probably, or a hat or something, and so therefore, like, I was non-threatening. At least she knows I was fire. And I said, I put my hand on her back. I was like, Reba? And she goes, oh my God, and stands up and gives me a huge squeeze. And I'll never forget that. It was a great way to meet someone that you already knew, but meet him in the flesh. And big cheers to you, Reba, and all you're doing for us and everybody. Same thing with Kelly. When I was having our last child, I had some great conversations with Kelly, who's banging some stuff out for us and putting steps, like physical steps, where the vision has surveyed the land in front of us, and so yeah, I don't want to say too much because some of that I want to keep like special to me and her and her and her and them. But yeah, Kelly, we love you. Same thing, Reba. We appreciate you and Mayfield and you and Golden. And Golden is my like nickname for, again, Jonathan Golden. This dude speaks like he just aced the bar exam like 9 times over. He's on the front,
he's on
dude.
a different level.
Man, I love that guy. And when he's one of those dudes like what. And just for the folks that don't know me real well, like in the next life, I want to be a comedian better than Dave Chappelle. So like, he's one of the, like when somebody makes me laugh on the inside, or like I have this huge smile on the inside about something, man, it's like next level. And something about Golden makes me laugh on the inside. And when we're having these grassroots meetings and I'm supposed to be paying attention, I feel like I'm in school because I'm in like the chat side and like a personal, like private chat. And it's just like, I'm just harassing Golden and he's just laughing while he's trying to speak or something, or when everybody else is serial and serious. And I was like, oh. So it's fun, man. But yeah, Kelly Martin, Reeve Duncan was on my list. Tim and Will at JK Boots. These dudes are changing the game. It's like,
they're knocking it out of the park,
man. It's like all of a sudden Lager boots or Nikes and these guys come out with Air Jordans and everybody's like, damn, dude. And wherever I go, it's like, the stupid boot conversation, man. Wildland Firefighter page on Facebook. God, it's just exhausting.
How do I tie my boots?
Yeah, just got new boots. And so, but these guys are game change. I mean, YouTube channels and
they take the time to explain it,
man. Right?
They take that's what nobody else has done, and they saw that. You know, they leveraged that, and that's kudos to them because it's never been done before, man.
Yeah. I agreed. And there's all these Spokane boot companies. Like, it's just weird. Like, it's just so weird to me.
It's like they all gravitated to the Pacific Northwest. It's Spokane.
Like, Spokane is the lager boot headquarters of the world. It's the Mecca. But these guys, how genius is it they did the foundation like side store? How genius is it that like making their store accessible, like Arizona, again, Redding. Boise, Redding, and still, the Mecca Spokane. But I think it's awesome. And I think, man, I've had conversations with Tim when I did that fundraiser a while back. And then even when I just finally broke my white boots to the point where like, okay, it's finally time to put them up and broke down and bought me some
city miles on them.
Oh, dude. Yeah, totally. And, so like no more whites, no more any of that stuff. It's all JKs. I'm wearing Jordans from now on. And but like even like you've ordered whites or you talk to Nick's and it's like, yeah, what do you want? You're like, you're calling your dad and he's having a bad day and you're trying to borrow money when you're talking to these dudes. And then like, hey, I just placed an order, and like the minute you hit send and like you close the laptop, your phone's ringing. You're like, what the heck is this? Who's this number? Somebody's
area code in Washington.
Yeah, somebody's cold calling me, and it's one of these dudes at JK's. Like, hey, just saw you put the order in. Blah 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 blah. Is this all correct? You got this. You going to see customs. Blah blah. And man, that's cool. And their business model is definitely shown.
It's almost like mom and pop.
It's fruitful. Yeah, it is mom and pop.
It is mom and pop. I mean, they're like the American dream, though. Like,
yeah, man.
Immigrated
good job
over here, dude.
Good job, cool. Will and Tim.
You know what's funny, man? I'll always ride for JK boots. You know why? I've never even put a pair of JK boots on in my entire life. Never worn them in fire. Never like repped them or anything like that. But you know what, man? I believe in those guys.
Totally.
I believe in them, and this is why. It's because of the shit you're saying right here. And like, they give a shit, right? They make a good product. Yeah, that's cool and everything like that. But they actually ride for the brand. They got your back, right? They're paired up with the Wildland Firefighter Foundation. They just do what's right.
They want to be there.
They want to be there.
They want to be there.
They want to be in your corner.
There's nobody better than somebody that wants to be there. And they kind of embody some like cool basketball stuff from my past. Like, I need to be careful here. I don't want to sound too bloated. There was a college I was looking at to play ball in. I'll just leave it at that. And it was a small school, way too expensive for me, so I didn't get to do it. The dream was squashed. It was healthy for me because my head was probably too big anyway for that to be happening for me in my life. I'm glad it didn't work out. But this coach touched me and he said, "Your attitude, your choice." And that was a big deal. Like, and like when you say go team, like his deal was like put your hand in, and like when you go teamed, it was your attitude, your choice. And he would say, my attitude's what? My attitude's what? My attitude's what? And every time the team would chant like, my choice, my choice, my choice. And man, that's gold. And back to like for them wanting to be here, like in the scene with us, that's like, you can train skill, you can train, whatever, and you can obtain experience, but you can't train attitude. You can't, I can't make you have a good attitude, dog, but I can make you a better firefighter or a better.
It's even heart too. Like, just
right.
heart,
It's that Rocky stuff, man. And they want to be there, dude. Anyway,
people recognize that. And that's why they're like meteorically rising in success.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Totally.
It shows.
Totally. So moving on from them so we can get past all this and get into some beans or meat and potatoes rather than some appetizers. But Kyle Miller, he knows what he's done for me. Again, I haven't met him personally, but I've had good conversations with him. And he's one of the few photographers I look up to in the game. And I've been shooting fire photography since, man, what did we talk about? Like,
you're saying
06?
Like just after you started.
I used to get made fun of for getting the camera out, and now it's like everybody and their sisters, selfieing it up with a guy at the camera, and it drives me nuts. But it's for whatever, everybody do them, and I'm happy that it's a thing now and not like faux pas. But man, I used to remember like trying to hide taking pictures. But Kyle Miller like set me straight on some stuff. He did a lot of ground truthing on and scouting on some things that he didn't have to share with me, and he did. And I'm very respectful to him for that, and let alone the program he's got there at Wyoming Hotshots. What a crew!
They're pretty good.
Those guys,
they're progressive. They're different. They're like leading the charge.
They're innovative, right?
They're innovative, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Everybody likes to clown on it too, because they're like doing like the stress inoculation stuff with the pool and stuff like that. It's not for everybody, but I think outside the box, look what they're doing. It's different, right?
Yeah.
It's a new experience.
Yep.
That's why just having a human experience.
You're making me smile, man. Like people can't see me unless they're watching on the YouTubes.
That's the thing, though, is like they're pushing the boundaries. They're thinking outside the box, and they're motivating to a higher caliber, right?
Yeah.
Not only like intellectually, not only like fire tactics, not only just as the whole package, right?
Yeah, and if you don't like
better,
and if you don't like it, that's okay. But we need them too. We need you too. We need your flavor and all this other stuff. Like, shout out to them, man. And it's like I boasted upon the Alaska Hotshots up in say the Alaska Hotshots, like that's a gang, but the or like a group, but the Wu-Tang stuff. But Midnight Suns and China, like super innovative and allowed to think. And I think Wyoming's done that too, and down in the States of setting a pace, man. Even if you don't want to keep up with it, it's a pace, and they're spear tip, and I respect it. And then closing, again, my artist, National Park Disc Service, Homeboy, man, what a smile that guy had, dude.
Love his satire.
His satire is great, and he's so good. He's so good. He's in.
He calls it how he sees it, though. It's like, look at this. This is bullshit. Like, you're supposed to go out to nature and to enjoy it, not take your $800 million fucking Vanagon life shit.
All your lanterns and fedoras.
Yeah, your lanterns, fedoras, and like, what is it? White boots. Yeah. Not White's the brand, but like white colored boots.
He gets it, man. And he's like a comedian behind the keyboard too, in the Great Meme Wars. And I respect him. But like these things make my day when somebody's got a smile like that. And that guy he was like squints his ear to ear right after he kissed, was it Wendy? Was that her name?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you need Squints right there?
Yeah, I know. I love Squints. And
shout out to Nicole for that.
Yeah. And so like him and Nicole like have been staples for my up and coming on the ass movement and Fire Wild. And I don't know. And so in closing with all that, sorry, it took freaking 15 minutes, but man, what a group. And I'm going to get a DM and say, hey, what about me? You left me out. Because it will happen, and it's back to the troll stuff. Like, I'm over that. Like, whatever. Don't be that way, man. Have some security and don't be insecure. But like, what a great group of people, man. And man, I wish I could almost fake my funeral to have everybody show up just so I could like
just observe from the distance.
Yeah, and then like surprise, bitch, and give everybody this huge hug, because man, every one of these people, like, even if they haven't met me, like, they don't know what they've done for me on the inside, let alone the ones that do know. And I tell almost a lot of these dudes, I mean, some of these I don't, because I don't know them that well. But it's like I tell you, like, I'll just hit you up and say, I love you, bro. Even if that's all it is. Same thing with Mayfield. And it ain't weird to me to tell that to some other dude or anybody else, even if I don't know you or even if you're like the scary, like here's a guy and I'm a girl, like tell me, and it's important. And I just want to like push all this love back at everybody else, man. And so that's the only reason I wanted to bring all those people up. And sorry it took me so long, but lots of love, lots of big hugs out there. And man, I'm humbled by all the treatment and this grinding wheel we have spinning. And sometimes it feels slow, and sometimes it's like I'm overwhelmed with joy sometimes about it. But what a great group of people that care, man. And you, dude. I didn't even put you in there because I'm sitting here looking at your ugly.
I already got enough of your bullshit last night, dude. Don't even.
I was pumping you up. That was all hard love, but man, you don't know what you're doing. But
okay, Dad.
Exactly. But I say that like because you do know what you're doing, but you don't know the effects of it, and it's heavy, dude. It's big stuff. Like we were talking over that beer. Like if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be me, and if it wasn't for you, there wouldn't be all these other me's, and you've busted through and you've helped so many people, and we'll segue to Grassroots because that's where I want to like move next with you. But dude, super important guy. And it was tough for you to leave the game.
It sucked. It was one of the hardest decisions I ever made.
No, man.
I had to do it.
I can't imagine. And
I mean, there was a multitude of reasons, but
yeah, but like this is your calling, and all these people I meet, some don't ever know I've even been on this show, but they know this show. And man, what a treat to have you as a friend. And I do love you, man. And what a treat this show is as far as a platform that people come on here and talk about things, let alone problems with the system. Because there's a lot, and it's easy to be frustrated. But yeah, man, I'm so proud to know you. I'm so proud of you as what you've done, as well as all these other people I just mentioned. But yeah, lots of big love. Digress, shutting up about it. And yeah, so asking you a question, where are we at with Grassroots? I get asked all the time. And I know we haven't had any meetings in a while, and sometimes again I'm too busy trying to make Golden associates laugh, so I miss some things. But where are we at?
So Grassroots, dude, it's kind of funny actually that you mentioned that, right? And all those people that you're mentioning right there, in some way, shape, or form, they're all interconnected. Like let me step back here for a second here. That big picture shit, right?
The zoom out,
30,000. Let's talk it. Let's
my shit.
Zoom out. Let's look at it from air tax perspective. All those people that you mentioned are inexorably connected with Grassroots. They're connected with you. They're connected with JK. They're connected with the foundation, Wildland Firefighter Foundation. They're connected with Mystery Ranch, Kelly, Reva, Luke, yada, yada, yada. The list goes on, right? And that's a big thing, right? We're becoming like that, just like the mental health awakening, right? That mental health awareness thing that we got going on right now.
The awakening.
Motherfuckers are talking about it.
Bingo.
People are talking about it, right? These are issues that are needing to be talked about. But everybody's just like riding for the brand, bleeding green, And now it is front and center.
It's on. It's so on.
You can't avoid it, right? Yeah. You can't avoid it, right? And now you have all these people that you were mentioning interconnected with all of this, right? And that's that networking shit right there. That's that power. Even Chewy, she's right there with it, right?
Yeah.
But I digress. With Grassroots is expanding right now, right? I'm gonna tell you straight up that we're all volunteers. No one takes a dime. Yep. No one gets paid. We have an executive board. We have board members, all that stuff. But it is a truly grassroots movement. And you know what's crazy about this thing is, one, it's a self-feeding organization, right? Everybody's Grassroots. This is it's like Fight Club, just reverse, right? You talk about Grassroots.
Yeah, talk about it, man.
So where Grassroots stands right now is like we're taking a little bit of a hiatus right now because of holiday season. We're trying to catch up. We got to do our 990s. We are officially a nonprofit now. So
congrats.
Yeah, we're pumped about that. And yeah, dude. And
but progress hasn't stopped.
No, it hasn't. We've been a little bit quiet about it, but then again, we all have lives, right?
Yeah, man.
We haven't been as vocal, but then again, it's not fire season, right? Grassroots needs help. That's what we need. Right now, you see this list of stuff that you probably can't see on the camera. This is all Grassroots stuff behind me. Mm-hmm. This is a list of infrastructure items that we need. Do it. We need people to ride for the brand. We need people to keep the positivity alive because things are happening on Capitol Hill, dude.
I really kind of just want I want to get into that, but I want like folks to hear like where we're at on progression. Like, where are we at? Like, what's going on right meow?
So right now we're hashing out the finer details of infrastructure.
Okay.
We got the Biden bonuses, the $15 an hour minimum wage, basically.
Yeah.
Got that. That was grassroots.
Check.
And dude, side note here, another person needed to add to that list and meet Michelle Hart.
Yeah.
She's been instrumental in leading the charge. And I cannot even begin to express my admiration and love for this woman because she has done so much.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it came out of tragedy. But, you know, Michelle, if you're listening to this for some reason, two dudes chopping it up on the radio. Yeah. If you're listening to this, I have nothing but the utmost love and respect for what you have done.
Ditto.
Like, she authored so much language, like directly authored so much language. And that's, you know, that's Luke. I did a little bit. Kelly, Reva, people that I can't name. Some dude named Smoke Jumper Bro.
Smoke Jumper Bro.
You know who he is, but I can't out him.
Right.
But yeah, all these people are like so inexorably connected, and they're making change, and they're listening.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. They're listening to the boots on the ground.
I am so proud of that. Like when you hit me up that winter and you had this brainchild, like, Booze, I got this idea. And you know I'm an ideas guy, so you call me and you're like, yo, I got this idea.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, okay, let's hear it, bro. Like, I'm ready. And I was sitting in my driveway and I remember it was snowing that day. And you said this thing. And I don't know how articulated it was then, but you had this vision. And I'm like, man, that's awesome. But it's big. It's like trying to climb Denali big. Like, this is big.
Oh yeah. This is our Everest, right?
Yeah.
Every firefighter out there. This is Everest.
No, K2, F Everest, dog. K2.
K2, that's more deadly.
Right. Everybody's doing Everest. There's a line. Like, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, you gotta wait 4 months.
Yeah. 14 Peaks documentary, Netflix. Check it out. Anyway, but when you called me about that, man, I was like, wow, that's like, I was like, whoa. And like, yo, I need you to, you were talking to me, like trying to get me out. And I'm like, I'm in. I got to be careful, but I'm in, you know, like, I'm still federally employed. So
it's dangerous.
It is. And I'm not a scared guy. Like, I don't believe in living in fear and all that stuff. So I'm like, I'm in. Whatever I can do in the right way, I'm going to do it. And so I'm so proud of like that this thing is growing the way it is, and now it's a machine, and it's got plenty of steam. But what I'm not happy with, and I say this almost every meeting, and so if we keep in all these meetings online via Zoom or whatever we use, I can't remember, but I think it's
Zoom.
Doesn't matter. But the point being, I think I say this all the time, and sometimes I'm just a hype guy. Sometimes, again, I want to be Mickey in the corner, like slapping you in the face and pumping you up. And like one of my favorite,
get up.
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes. I said this to, maybe it was Art last night or somebody. It might even been you after I was grilling your ass, but it was one of my favorite quotes in Rocky, and it almost brings tears to my eyes hearing it because we've all been down, dude. And it's in Rocky 5, arguably the worst Rocky ever. And I'm a fan, but I still make myself watch it because there's quotes in there, and it's Rocky's like reflecting on, he's in hard times. He's lost all his money, a lot of yada yada. Who gives a shit? And he's reflecting on Mickey, like his mentor, his trainer, his role model, his dad figure, all these things. And they're in it's like daydreaming, so it's like gray and blurry for the setting the scene here. And he reflecting on Mickey, and Mickey, Rock's like, hey, thanks for trading me.
That's a good impression,
man.
Just saying, that's a good impression, dude.
No, that's a quick one. Let me have another cocktail. I'll get you a good one. And he says, it makes like, you're welcome, Rock. Rah, rah, rah. And then he goes, Rock, I'm like that angel on your shoulder. And when you get knocked down, I'm gonna whisper in you. And he says it like, and it's almost like the room gets quiet, and he just starts yelling, like with this motor. It's like, get up, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loves you. And man, that motivates me more than anything. Not more than anything, but very, very strongly. And man, and so with that, I'm tired of this, and this is where I'm going. I'm going to speak it loud. I'm tired of this cynicism on the line.
I'm so tired of it too, and I try and reiterate what you're saying too. Man. Every time we do a meeting, like the jaded cynicism, it's
get
like,
behind me, Satan.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing though. It's like it's happening, man. This has been years and years, and I know I only done fire for 11 years, and I quit. I backed out. I had to do that for me. Whatever, doesn't matter. You can call me a fucking pansy or whatever you want to do.
Intelligent for doing it.
Well, I mean, it's not for everybody, but then again, like, it could be so much better, bro. It could be, and that's the thing. It is happening, dude.
It just doesn't happen like tomorrow. No. You're not going to wake up and everything's fixed. Like problems don't get fixed just because Booze gets on here and talks about love and hugging people and like loving yourself. But if you don't love yourself, the cynicism, man, it's just, I say this all the time, even on the meetings. Like,
take that negativity.
I don't want your electron, man. My molecule, I want it to be positively powered. I want protons only. And when someone's like, Booze, is your Booze? And I'm like, yeah, man, what's up? I'll be your task force leader for the day with a big smile. And they say, are you the surface shitting guy? I'm like, hell no. I'm the anti-surface shitting guy.
Not here.
And they're like, whoa, that's you. And I'm like, yeah. Well, tell me about Grassroots. Where are we at? And I'm like, man, sometimes I'm a class clown. I forgot to do my homework last night, so I'm going to have to get back to you, but I'm so proud of us. Like, we're making, I mean, even if it's like, what about Bob, baby steps, we're making progress, man. And and then there's always some crusty or some even young person
that salty. You got a little too much salt on their armpits, and even, on their yellow.
The one I'm thinking about right now is this person, this human being, and younger dude, younger than me, and like assistant captain level type of thing. And this guy's like assistant leading people and bringing this electrons to the table. And you really think it's going to happen? I mean, just cynicism, negativity, condescending. And I'm like, and he was nice to me like about it, but man, I just like, I got no room for that. Like, I said it in the first show, like Margaret Mead said, you only need 3 to 5% and the rest are going to follow. And let me tell you something, dude and dudettes out there, like, if get in line, like get out of the way. And when tomorrow this happens, and the tomorrow as the royal tomorrow, proverbial tomorrow, like don't even thank any of us, but just think about what you brought to the table with your attitude.
Yep.
And nothing gets changed. A, with a bad attitude, and B, if you don't talk about it. Like, those are the first 2 steps, whether you're an alcoholic, a visionary, or trying to put the rose in the tank cannon. Man,
the cynicism needs to stop, man. And here's the thing, though, dude. It's like it's the easy way out. There's the hard right, and then there's the easy wrong, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, it's so much easier to sit there and talk shit and be a cynic and pick everything apart. But you know what, man? That's the easy way out.
Yeah.
You want to like make something right. You want to like spread the love, and you want this thing to go forward. Congratulations. Welcome to Grassroots. Yeah. First rule about Grassroots is you talk about Grassroots, right? Yeah. Because you'd be surprised. Yeah. You'd be like, we're talking about like all the way up the chain.
Yeah.
Like ES level positions that are riding for the brand, the Grassroots. This needs to happen. You'd be utterly surprised how many people up in Washington, D.C. they're supporting this. They're supporting this movement. And that is huge. And that's instrumental to our success, because we don't have that. We don't got shit.
Yeah.
But the cynicism and the negativity and the easy cop out, that's what needs to stop.
Yeah, agreed. And
it's an easy way out.
And if you don't know what progress looks like, I mean, it's like
hard fought.
It's like Al Pacino said, Any Given Sunday, with my main man, Jamie Foxx. I'll just say this again because I'm proud of beating him in basketball personally. Jamie Foxx.
You guys
I balled on him.
Ball.
I balled on him. I'm kidding. But I did beat him. But in Any Given Sunday, like I used to listen to this too for motivation. And it's all frugal and doesn't matter but anybody to me. But he has a speech called The Game of Inches, and that's life. And at the very end of the speech, that's what he says. That's life, and that's all it is a game of inches. And until you realize that inches make, it's like the who put the rock in my pack prank, like ounces make pounds argument, like inches make feet make miles, dog.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like zoom out, man.
30,000. Let's go air attack here.
Yeah, and
above that, even above the TFR.
Zoom out of your ego vision, dude. And anyway, I want to settle down a little bit because I'm getting like pumped up about it. But man, what a great thing! What progress! And I do not like presidents. I'm apolitical or political atheistic, and I don't judge anybody for anything. Like it ain't my place.
It's just whatever flavor. It's like 31 flavors, man. You pick your flavor. That's cool.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm not choosing between heads or tails when it comes to living my own life. Like if that's what you want, by God, I still love you. But
and that's the thing,
and that's some of my crazy talk too. But it says something for the ethos. The way I can't remember other than a certain president tell us we need to, I can't even believe I'm talking about presidents, like screw that. But a certain president telling us we need to rake our forest and that's going to solve the problems, and then go to somebody who I just as much despise as them all, from 1 to whatever number we're on, 50. I don't know. I don't care, because I'm interested in you and the royal yous. I keep saying that Lebowski stuff. But when a president invokes our name, I mean, in $15 an hour, to me, like,
that ain't nothing.
That ain't nothing, dude. But it's a step. It's an inch.
It's a step.
It's an inch. It's an inch.
Right?
It's an inch. It's an inch. Yeah. And again, you get 12 inches. Now we got, and we're getting first downs next thing you know. And it may take 4 downs to do it, but that's what we got to do. And for that, our name to be invoked by this person has this stupid audience of national proportions. Man, that's a big inch, dog. And
it's a big one.
And now we're there. Now we're not there. We haven't arrived, but I'm saying we're the boat's moving, and I'm proud of that. And I'm stoked on that.
It's like hopping on a moving train. Get on board, man.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing. That's the only thing we can do is pack that thing full.
Yep. And that's what we're doing.
Line.
And again, if you're not on board, if you want to keep the cynicism to yourself, but we're not, there's so many of us that this may not affect in our fire lifetime, for the parlance of our times of vernacular there, in our fire lifetime. But there's so many of the ones that we're training right now, and I hope you're training these young folks to be good people, man, to be thinkers on the line, not just like diggers and shut up. I mean, that's a good chunk of it too, but again, show them what attitude is at the table and bringing it. But a part of that too is like looking out for their tomorrow, like they're your kids, a fire family style. And man, it's like making a better life for your chitlins. And I feel like that's what we're trying to do for our fire chitlins, and even the folks that, I mean, again, if I don't get to touch and feel this in my lifetime while I'm working,
then so be it.
I don't care, man. I want to leave it a better place. I want us to leave it like, screw me. I want us to leave this in a better place for the next folks when we do hand it off. And
dude, that's leadership 101 though, man. It is your job to build upon the foundation of your predecessors, and then build that foundation. Framing out the walls. Framing out the walls. Man. And then that next generation, they're going to throw the drywall on or run the plumbing or whatever.
Yeah.
You build that foundation better than you found it, right? And you pass it on to the next.
And I'll say this too, and then we can like segue to something else, probably, so nobody's listening to us like sound the trumpets here. But if you haven't attended one of those grassroots meetings, it sounds like, especially if you're at the level in fire where you got to do all these stupid teams meetings all the time. But if you haven't attended one, man, attend it, because you're going to get a lot more than Booze's little plug of ignorance of, the wannabe comedian trying to help out the game, and your stuff. Like, you're going to get some details. You're going to get some specifics from Kelly, from Reba, from Mayfield, from Golden. All these are my people. And you're going to get in the know, even if you attend one. But man, again, it's like this shotgun spread. Like, we need to invoke everybody here and provoke everybody and get this thing going. And it is going, but I mean, keep it moving. But if you want to know, that's up to you. It's like knowledge, man.
It's all laid out there.
It's knowledge. And if you want knowledge, all you have to do is seek it. It's like love. If you want that stuff, go find it. And it's there. Like, these meetings are there. They're there for you.
They're recorded. They're on our YouTube channel.
And they're on the YouTube. So find it out, man. That way you're not asking the Booze Man, where are we at when I get my $20,000 Ezel style from Friday. Like, I don't know. I want to know, but I don't know. And then, like, the money to me, the money's not the issue here. The rug is not the bigger issue.
Thing. Let's talk about big picture things. I like temp buyback. We got the retirement thing. We got the money's cool.
How about temps getting treated like humans? All this stuff, man. And
year-round health benefits, mental health services.
Dog, I know.
Dude, it's all written out there. That's the thing, though. It's like, I don't know how many times I can and I'm not trying to sound like jaded or anything like that, like, because I care. I give a shit. But sometimes it's like, it's all laid out right there on Grassroots website. www.grwff.com or www.grassrootswildlandfirefighters.com. Doesn't matter. It'll all redirect to the same place, right? Go there. About us. We got a facts page, like FAQ, facts, a facts page about not only
ask questions.
Well, it's important, right?
Yeah.
Because you want like the legitimacy behind it, right? You can read any document, but when you hear like reiterated from somebody, like, okay, hey, go read the IRPG. However, when your captain or someone that's a mentor of yours like says verbatim what's in that shit because it's real, well, that has a different gravity to it, right?
Yep.
So yeah, it is all out there, but the way it's designed is Biden bonuses, right? Imagine like zoom out again, right? You're running a medical on a fire. That's how this thing is set up. The Biden bonuses, that is like point of injury care, your passion wounds, right? Now you got infrastructure, the 20,000, the mental health, the conversion of seasonal, X amount of seasonals to permanent positions, right? The RX fire program, all these millions of dollars, right? Millions of dollars going into these programs. Yeah, there's a lot of tricky language in there, right? That's the tourniquet on the wound, right? That's the tourniquet, right? Now, the Tim Hart Pay Parity and Classification Act, also known as Tim's Act, the linchpin, the cornerstone, the holy grail of wildland firefighter stuff. Well, that's like definitive care. He's already on the ship, or that person who's you're running the medical on. Well, they're going to definitive care. They're gonna get better, and that's why it's so important. Whether or not you like where you stand politically or belief wise or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's a politics game. You got to play this game.
Yeah, you got to play the game,
dude. Infrastructure, no matter where you side on it, whether you love it, hate it, indifferent about it, doesn't matter. He's still got language in there that's extraordinarily beneficial to wildland firefighters across the nation. And I know everybody is hung up on that hard to fill, that or hard to retain or recruit and fill positions clause. You'd be surprised how many people are doing the numbers. And these are SMEs, right? So the way it works is Uncle Sam sends down a line, orders like, hey, we need SMEs to like run the numbers, right? Crunch the numbers. I'm like, who is hard to retain, hard to fill, whatever. It turns out that it's everyone, and they broke it up into region, right? It's not just locality. It's not just like Carson City District Forest Service, HTF, Multiabi. It's not the Inyo National Forest. It's not the Okanogan, Wenatchee, whatever.
Is that how you pronounce that?
I have no idea. I probably butchered that, but whatever.
I love it, though. You did great.
It's bordered up into regions, right? That's how they do it. So, I mean, what is hard to recruit, retain positions?
What does it all really mean?
Everything, right? Because we got the numbers to prove it, and that's what they're finding out.
Yeah.
So it's big.
It's
big.
It's big, man, and it's worth it. But it's a big mountain, and we're gonna get there.
Well, that's the thing, though, is ever slow, large turning gears of bureaucracy, right? This stuff just takes time. We've got some ride or die congressmen and congresswomen on Capitol Hill.
Did you say women or women?
Women, sorry. Okay. Congressmen and congresswomen on Capitol Hill that are just all about this. And we got surprising support for some interesting people.
Yep. That's good.
It doesn't matter what flavor, red, blue, Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. Independent, you got overwhelming support. So I think this thing is not only going to be
we're hard not to like, dude. I mean,
at the
besides
end of the day,
personally and subjectively, we're a hard people in business not to like. I mean, and we're necessary and all that stuff. But
at the end of the day, though, are we not professionals? What is
hell no. We're not. We're unskilled laborers, dude. Just joking. No, we are profesh, dude.
We are.
And even the state folks, like I get asked by the state folks, the contractors. Yeah, man. Like everybody's needed and everybody means something, but.
That's a big. It's picture. Not. That's the bigger picture.
But I want to say
start
this
here, though.
Yeah, I want to exactly. That's what I want to say.
The rising tide raises all ships.
Yep. And that's what I want to say. Like to the state dudes and dudettes and private the private world,
which we rely on heavily. We do.
It's like we've got one rock in our hand, and we got to choose the right time to throw it, and then we can pick up another one. And like it's like the I fly a lot, and they always give you. I mean, I just put my headphones in these days because I'm over here in the speech every day. Make briefings brief again, and thank God they know how to make them brief and do little sign language and stealing third and second base with their, whatever with their. I do always like I joke around about this one a lot, but it's like you gotta put the oxygen mask on yourself and then help your little baby. Like they're gonna be drowning for a couple minutes in no oxygen air while you're like taking your time and dropping and trying to finagle this oxygen mask, put it on. But if we like, that's just what I'm getting at, man. It's like,
but
it's coming.
You can't help other people unless you help yourself first.
It's coming. And by far the Fed agency is the largest for this. So naturally that's where we're starting. But I do like, I've heard myself talk about this enough, and you and I could keep talking about this, but I want to kind of move into the great mental health awakening, that Kevin Conley story, these other stories on the mic. Yeah, Ben Strauns and I don't even know him, but
Mike West.
Yeah, and man, we were talking about this earlier offline, and life is to suffer, like some philosophical depthness here. Yeah. But it's good. Life is good and suffer. I was so one of these dudes I gave the bobsled proud Jamaica team speech to, of like looking in the mirror thing. This one of the last ones I was talking about. Hotshot Brewery hit me up like, yo, you need to chat this dude up real quick. And I'm like, all right, I'm on it. But I said something that I saw and that helped me was, diamonds are just a rock, dog.
Yeah. You squeeze that thing, it becomes a precious gem, right?
Bingo. And so you're not who I don't even like saying this, supposed to be, because I don't believe in this predestination, but I do believe in like you're designed for a purpose, designed or banged together. I don't know what
I'm one of those people that don't believe in coincidence though. So you're speaking, I don't believe in coincidence.
No, I don't either, dude. Hey, yeah. You know me. You know me. You know me very well.
You're speaking my language is what I'm saying.
That meta stuff you told me earlier really felt good when you said that to me, and I'm just
the meta-human conversation.
Yeah, and I'm giving you like finger in your face dad speeches, and you're giving me like these sweet, make me want to cry about myself stuff, because you're saying so nice of things to me, man, and that means something. And that's what I want to like bleed out to everybody else, is like reflect with the mirror on the sunshine, on the vitamin D, on this other people, and but the diamond thing and grapes aren't fine wine till they're stepped on and squashed, man. And this great mental health awakening is, somebody once asked me, I was talking about the prison industrial complex, and just, I'm an ideas guy, man, but I'm very, very passionate about philosophy, history, and like making the world better just through my Care Bear stare. And I was talking about this stuff to somebody that's important to me. And they said, yeah, well, what are you doing about it? And I just stopped talking, because that's what I'm doing about it. And it's like these people who are recovering from addictions and illness, and they go to these Alcoholics Anonymous, and they go to these things, and like these stupid, I shouldn't say stupid. I want to be very respectful of that process, because the first step in overcoming anything is admitting it and talking about it. And when they said that to me, like, what are you doing about it? Like, you don't get it. And this mental health thing, it's like you with the podcast shit, and with all these other things you're doing. You're busting through, right? It's like we were talking about it over the pizza and the beers a good minute ago. And it's like everybody on the basketball team, we're shooting, we're missing, we're airballing. It's donk, boom, brick, like everything's hitting hard off. Man, that one's supposed to go in and out. And then all of a sudden, dude comes in off the bench and swishes one, and now the goal's busted open, and now we can all be confident.
Open.
Yeah. Yep. And it's open now. The door's got a crack in it. Now we can just bum rush it and push it open. And that's what this is. And so we've finally gotten over this speed bump while we're in neutral, and we got to push. We jump started with the clutch start, old school way on a Manuel shifting rig, and we got over that speed bump, and now we're kind of moving downhill a little bit. We pushed the snowball over, and talking about it is like the very first step. Admitting it is the very first step. Like finding somebody that loves you enough, and if you can't find somebody, like reach out to a stinking stranger, man. And pardon me. And I think it makes me feel so good that we're again, we're not there. We're not at the destination, but life is the journey. And I think this this awakening is a big deal because now we know it, and not as an excuse. It's like
It's an
I saw a
awareness.
great quote, and it was like, people don't fake depression, people fake being happy. And that's deep.
Ooh, that's profound.
And so when somebody comes to you and says something like, man, I'm having a hard time, don't give them advice, man.
Just listen.
Listen. The 2 years they work, listen. That's all they really need. And like hug them, all that stuff. And man, I'm telling you, I'm stoked that like we're finally looking in the mirror about this, and it's real. And
we're
the more we talk
something.
about it, it's just like this grassroots stuff. The more, exactly.
It, dude.
The more we talk about it, the more it's in the ethos, and the more like, hey, we're firefighters. We want to get paid.
Okay.
One guy said that. Can you believe this? One guy said that, and now it's like an army of Braveheart dudes. Like, I am William Wallace. Yeah, and we're all 10 feet tall now, and that's how it starts. And eventually, there's going to be one. There's going to be two. There's going to be some movers and shakers that are going to merge, and they're going to be the spear tip. But the spear tip now is, I mean, Kevin Connolly spear tipped some stuff, and that's a big deal. And that's why I brought him up, man. I'm stoked on that. And you're the spear tip and grassroots spear. I mean, man, I want to say this because, and I want to be a little private, but with respect to the message here is last year was one of my worst years or worst best years. I don't know how to put it, but man, and I don't want to like say exactly what was up, but I didn't have any like self-harm type of thoughts, but I had some dark abyss thoughts of, I'm okay if today something happened. And I remember riding on a helicopter, on a helicopter. I was riding on the skids. No, I'm just kidding. I was riding in a helicopter, and windows off, like some awesome stuff. I got my GoPro.
Love that feeling, though.
And it's like, I'm always like, yo, it's 100 degrees. Can we take the doors off? And I was like, well, yeah, of course. I'm like, let's do it. And so we got the doors off, and I'm riding that seat, which I love riding in. And usually I get the nod. I get the shotgun seat because I got all these stupid cameras and stuff. And I just remember like I even put my hand out the cabin of the ship and just feel the hot air. And I was just kind of like, it was like at the beginning of Dances with Wolves when he puts his boot on back over his foot that's about to be lopped off, and he pulls himself together and he just doesn't care. And like, I don't want to like send the wrong message. Like, I'm not dangerous and I don't want to put anybody else's life in there. And I'm definitely not careless. I'm a well-calculated machine in my mind, and confident and not cocky. But I just remember like, it's hard to talk about too. And so I know what that feels like now. But I had these thoughts, dude, like if this thing went down, man, first of all, I don't want anybody else. I want everybody else to like walk out of this stuff, walk away from it unfazed. But if I was like the one that had to jump on the grenade in this wreckage, I was okay with it. And not in the sense like I've lived a good life and, you know, I'm on my way out type of thing, but like I was dark, dude. And, and I love making people laugh. So sometimes I really wear that on the inside, but there was 2 or 3 people that I reached out to, and I'm glad that I've got such a network to be able to do it. But I was very candid with them, and one of those was Murph, and he's on that crew, so it was very easy in that time and space and moment. But man, what a horrible place to be in.
It's not a good place, and I guarantee you, a lot of people listening to this right now have been there.
If you haven't, you will be. I mean, I've been in the game for 16 or 17 years. I don't know the math is hard, but I love numbers. But dude, it was rough. And I just remember like, not caring, but just, I mean, but about life. And I got a good life, Michael Scott, Prison Mike style. I got a good life. And I'm happy to live it. And I'm blessed. And I'm just so thankful that I've got this go-to set of people because of the way I've set things up for myself and hustled. And I'm proud of that, but not to a downfall. But man, it was rough. And I've never had those kind of thoughts. And I grew up my mother had a rough life. And I've never had these thoughts. And my family's like, everyone, I'm like, I'm the youngest son, just two of us, me and my brother, and my brother, like, man, it was like all out brawl out every night. And
Sibling rivalry.
No, not with me. I mean, yeah, I just wasn't like, I just always wanted to, I was like, and my parents were really good people. My mother's a saint. Like some of the stuff she had to go through as a child, like her dad would take her to the bar at like 2 p.m. or 3, like whatever. I don't remember how it all went down. I've heard the story so many times that I probably blocked it out. I'm like tired of hearing of it when I was a kid, like just because her life was so rough and she had to deal with this stuff, even on the inside still, PTSD style. And her dad was a raging alcoholic. Like when he came home type of thing, they hid because they were about to get punched up. But he would take her to the bar and make her sit in the car from like 2 or 3 or whenever the bar opened. And I don't know how the school stuff went for her then, but would take her to the bar whenever he had her, and then they were parents still married type of thing, but pick her up and make her like drag her out of wherever, and then make her just sit in the car while he drank at the bar till 2 a.m. or till whatever in the morning.
Jeez,
man. And so like some rough stuff, and it affected our lives, and it's not my mother's fault at all. She did a damn good job of breaking the cycle. But I just remember like, some of that stuff's just hard to dodge, like passing on, I mean, to the genetic level. And my brother had a hard time with some stuff. And only reason I'm being open about this is he's very open about it. But like depression, suicidal stuff. And just, I remember like so many nights and like nose to nose with my parents fighting and yelling. And I'm just like, I felt like the kid, like wanting to suck my thumb and put my hands over my ears and just crawl into a corner and cover me up with a blanket. But instead I like left, and like I went and like observed and saw these other families that took me in a way. And I saw what like worked, and I saw what love looked like like when everybody's faking, trying to get along type of thing rather than yelling at each other. And then I played basketball every night. It was my outlet. And so like to circle that back around, I've never had like dark thoughts like I had this past summer. And I'm very thankful for the people that I could call and reach out to. But it put things into perspective for me. Like normally, like say that hadn't happened and I'm at where I'm at, as far as like these dark thoughts last year, none of that would have happened. I've got no like sympathetic empathy, and I got a lot of sympathy and empathy for stuff I've never experienced. Like I get it, but until you suffered in a certain way and then somebody else
doesn't become real.
It's you don't know what you don't know. I mean, you don't know what you're talking about in a way. You don't know what this other person's talking like, and we all think it's like we were talking about with that certain individual you were talking to me about today about not getting it.
Oh yeah.
About judging people, for instance, like addicts, right? I remember the conversation, and it's an illness, man, and
it's an illness, yeah. But these people aren't bad people. They just made some bad decisions.
But it's these people that have never had to suffer, man. That don't know what the suffer looks and sounds like and smells like and all the 5 senses like, and I had a dose of it, and man, it wasn't cool. But at the same time, it was probably good for me. Like when I zoom out in a couple of years and think about it, but I don't think I'll ever just give anybody when they come to me advice. I was telling you that before. Like it's just all listening, man. And if they do want you to say something,
they'll let you know.
Inspired, like don't conspire. And man. So anyway, I don't want this to be about me, but like I know what I'm sharing that story because like if you've been there, you know, and if you haven't been there, stand by.
Oh yeah,
stand by.
And it'll surprise you.
Yeah.
And this is what this feels like, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Man, I called Mayfield one day, and I'm like, I'm over this, dude. Like, and this was at the end of the year. Like, this wasn't even in the summer, but it's like, dude, I'm over this. Like, I don't know what else I could do job wise, but there's some big things bothering me. And he just listened, and he has his own experience to share, and no condemning, no judging, and all that stuff. And man, it helped me. And even just to know, like, today's today, and tomorrow's going to be tomorrow. But if you're not willing to be crushed and made to wine, or crushed and made into a very expensive stupid rock, then get out of the way, man. I mean, and I don't mean that like unsympathetically, but
no, it's
good for you. I mean, it's not good for you like today.
No. Being real is good for you.
But when you overcome it, man, it's like nobody can take Kevin Connolly's story away from him. Nobody can take away like him finding himself in what he went through.
His quote, I am the mountain.
Yeah.
I am the fucking mountain.
And every one of us have that inside of that Rocky story. Like if you don't give up, if you just don't give up, and if you get up, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loves you. And I think that's profound to me, man. And I don't want to go through it again, but man, I'm grateful that I was able to get out of the moving water. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the most profound shit that has ever been told in my life is when I was sitting across Ben Strawn from El Dorado Hot Shots. He was sitting in that, right? Sitting in that chair right there. And the most profound shit that I'll never, ever, ever, ever forget that he ever said to me is, you know what the beauty is? I'm paraphrasing here. So if I get this wrong, Ben, you can correct me, but whatever. But the most profound shit that he ever said to me was about mental health, right? And that's what his whole story was about. The most profound shit that he ever said to me was, you know what the beauty is of utter darkness and being at that valley of your mental health? He was like akin it to like valleys and peaks, right? Yeah. Highs and lows. You know the beauty of that darkness and that valley is, you know, the only place you get to do is look. Up. You only get to look up.
That's some Bill Hicks shit,
dude.
Bill Hicks talks about that stuff too. It's all just a ride,
dude. It's all just a ride. Moved me, man. Yeah, that shit moved me. Yeah. Same shit with Booker, dude. Booker and his spiel, man. Slightly better than awesome, man.
Life is a story, dude.
Everybody's got a story to tell too. Yeah,
but some people's are boring because they never suffer and they never like challenge it. Like, man, you like I really think this sounds super maybe corny. I really think the human can do so much more than we think we can do, man. It's like superpower stuff. And I want to get an anagram because it's maybe a good door to open.
Good segue.
A good window. Yeah. But until you really tell yourself that stuff, that pride and power stuff, and look yourself in the eyes, like, I'm doing this, I'm riding across the country on my stupid ass bike, or I'm getting out of this hole that I'm in and it's dark.
I'm in that valley.
Yeah. Or
go to peaks.
I'm gonna do my stupid ass movement side hustle that I've been nesting on for 5 years, and you finally jump off and do it. And then, you know, the podcast crap, all the other thing, like, one of my good friends, she says, and she introduced herself in a very cool way. And I'll just keep it. I want to keep it special the way she did it, but it was in a Big Lebowski way. She told me that her Bible is Big Lebowski, and I'm like, my man, oh, man, I just lost my stupid train of thought, Booze. Come on. And
she introduced herself.
Yeah. That was a stupid flavor. That was not the main course. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with it, but because we were talking Enneagram. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, Big Lebowski is. I had a quote from it. Oh, if you will it, it is no dream, dude. If you will it, it is no dream. And this never give up mentality. This like, don't let people tell you can't do something. If they do, use it. Like, put that in the gas tank and use it and go. And look at yourself and make it up to the top of that mountain. Even if it's not today, if you make the stupid, like, make it to base camp tonight. All right. Like, that's a step. But get up there, man, and do it.
Feet, brother.
Yeah. If you will it, it is no dream, and inches make feet, man. But this Enneagram. So let's get on that for a second. Some of you probably know what that is. I introduced it to you.
Yeah.
But it's one of these things that just gets passed on like
MTBI.
Chain letter.
It's like NTBI on steroids.
I don't even know what all that means.
It's like your personality, like your
NTBI.
Yeah, it's Myers-Briggs personality.
Okay, yeah.
It's kind of like that on steroids.
Yep. Yeah. So if you've ever taken M410, a lot of times they'll make you do like little personality tests, and there's only like really three or four options. Yeah, like how vague and like lumped in a pool is this? And so I get annoyed by that stuff, and I'm not into. George Carlin makes fun of self-help. It's like, isn't self-help just help? You know, like
it's just help. No?
Yeah.
But that's another thing too. Is like side note onto that is like, there's no more strength in being vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to put yourself out there like that, dude. There's no more courageous act.
There isn't,
especially in a tough society that we operate in, man.
Yeah, and I think it's go back to that oxygen mask on the plane. Until you know yourself, you're not going to know the world and how it affects you. But when you know yourself, like, nothing will affect you, dude.
It's that emotional intelligence, dude.
Man. And you can overcome your flaws. You can fix them. You can know when they're coming. It's man. And so the
awareness,
the Enneagram get on the EnneagramInstitute.com and learn about it. But there's basically 9 personality pools. And mine, I'm a number 5 when you get on there and look at it, and then you'll know a lot about the booze man. But I'm a number 5, and it's called the investigator or the observer. And really heady, really into like intellectual knowledge, and that's what drives me. That's my place of retreat. I live inside I'm always thinking, man. You'll see me from a distance, and I'll be just stroking my beard, and that's a tick of mine. But usually, if I'm doing that, man, I'm thinking hard, and I'm always thinking. And I want to know. Not, I don't have to know. Like I don't have to know the answers to the universe, but I want to learn. And man, anyway, but. The Enneagram has definitely helped me learn about myself. It's definitely helped me learn about others, and I can identify certain traits of this stuff. But it's also changing, man. It's this stupid ass self-help talk, and maybe that's just me being machismo or whatever. But you're not going to learn anything about anybody else, about the world around you, unless you know yourself and like know thyself talk. And man, check it out. I promise you'll be glad you did. Whoever you are listening. And you're on board. I showed you about me, man. Yeah, and it's
scarily accurate.
It's like I thought somebody
weird
read my algorithms in my life and like put it in print, and like it was. We were talking at the bar, and that dude was like, he's like, "What are you guys talking about?" And I was like,
Enneagram.
Oh, the Enneagram. You ever heard of it? And he's like, "No, I don't think so." And I was like, "Yeah, the 9, the whatever." He's like, "Oh yeah," and then
it's got like a Myers-Briggs test.
Yeah, exactly.
Equated it to that.
Yeah, and he's like, he said, "Man, that is eerily accurate." And those are his words. Yep. Eerily accurate. And so when you find yourself in there, it's like, man, and
it's not the end all be all though. I mean, there's a little caveats to it, but it's pretty damn.
It's
accurate.
Pretty accurate. It's like
pretty
weirdly accurate.
Yeah.
And it's like all the stuff your mom tell you need to work on, and then you just like grew up and kept doing all that stuff, and now it's like internal traits.
Now you got to deal with it.
And this is how you can deal with it, is like look it over again, but look it over on your terms. I'm kind of anti-authoritarian at times, and for me to like self-discover this stuff, I don't know, man. It helped me. So look it up for yourself.
I am all about self-awareness tools, man. Conquer thyself, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember if it's Sun Tzu or Bruce Lee or whoever's it.
Bruce Lee, my man.
Dude, Bruce Lee's got some profound shit.
The water drop. I live by that shit.
I love it, dude. Right? He's like a prophet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, what was it? I said it earlier today. It was like the greatest enemy, or like know thyself and conquer thyself or something like that. Mm-hmm. Whatever.
Yeah.
Before we started rolling, I forgot what I was saying. But anyways, that stuff is powerful, man. Because once you understand yourself, like you become more self-aware. Mm-hmm. You can become more emotionally intelligent.
Bingo.
You can pick up on some stuff, man.
And then you can block out some of these dark abyss thoughts too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can, man.
I mean, it's still unavoidable. You're going to have to deal with some challenges in your life, but how you make it either your valley or peak or your mountain or fucking whatever, your darkness.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all on you.
Totally.
It's your attitude.
So, I guess getting into something a little more fun to talk about and not so deep, which we all need some deep talks, but
I think that shit's good though.
No, it is good, man. Good. I need to hear it sometimes too.
Yeah, well, I think everybody needs to hear it. And I think, you know what, man, for anybody who's listening, man, that emotional intelligence, that talking to people, that great emotional and mental health awakening that we're going through right now, I think people need to hear that, and I think they need to start spreading that word, just like Grassroots, man. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. Yeah. People need to talk about that shit.
Yeah, we're all just trying to have that human experience, right?
Right.
So this is fun for me to talk about, and I came up with this idea last year. I promise I'm not drunk. It's only my second one. But
I think we're just tired, man. Being out in the sun all day like that, it takes it out of you, dude.
Man, I needed that vitamin D, dude. I looked white trash. I took my shirt off, like bro style, cutting weeds out in the front yard.
I'm not gonna lie, it looked kind of trashy, but I
don't care.
It was like the pure embodiment of male masculinity and sexiness, dude. You're out there with no t-shirt on and a pair of waders, and you're out there fly fishing.
I had him.
I was proud of you,
Billy. I had him in Billy Bob status with the suspenders
tied around your waist.
Yeah, like what overalls, like when you undo overalls and walk around. Yeah, I didn't care. I'm not that prideful to whatever. I don't care. No, I was wanting some of those rays, man. It's been cold, or like still waiting for the sun to like come back full time, back to work with the temp temp seasonals this spring or fall or spring or summer when the sun comes back. But yeah, one of the fun ideas, and I want to articulate it a little better. I posted a story about it, and my man Pulaski Shovels Them In jumped on, which I think is awesome. And that guy's been nothing but support, and I owe him a lot. But anyway, right to the chase. The second best hair and fire contest. Man, I like the ring to that.
Oh,
and
second best, right?
No, it's a joke, but it's serious. No one is gonna trump. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna be cocky about it, but
I don't know, man. You get that Palomado stuff going on right now, dude.
I know.
Come on, man.
I don't know. I shouldn't say it like that. It's a mess, dude. It sucks sometimes. Like I'm always fighting it and trying not to have dreads on the line. And
it's hard, dude. It's hard work, dude. I used to have hair down to here.
Really?
I shit you not, dude. I'll show you a picture after.
I want to see it.
Yeah. And maybe I'll post it for you folks over there. Yeah, I proved.
Yeah, you should.
That I got some long.
Yep.
I had some long hair. Now I'm rocking the fade.
And so I want to articulate it. The second best long hair, second best hair and fire, and I really want it to be long hair. So don't send me your like crazy hair photos, but I want to make it this year and not like when you had, like, for instance, I don't want Brandon. I don't want you to be sending me. You're not going to win this contest. You can send it to me. I don't care.
I ain't going to win this contest.
But you ain't going to. I know, but you're not going to win this contest with 7 years ago when you had long hair. Like I want it to be like the reason I'm bringing it up now. And I thought about it last year, kind of mid-season. I'm like, well, it's already kind of late. Somebody's going to have like 3-month hair, and they're going to, and be proud of it. But for your 3-month long hair, but I want it to be like all season, like start to finish. I don't want it to be last year, 7 years ago. I don't want it to be, mid fire season when, and so I may even get someone to have a male female division stuff. So like one second best hair and male division. And I've already I'm putting Reva on the Budweiser hot seat here, Reva Duncan.
I mean, she's got some good hair.
She's got booze man hair for the lady, and I respect it. And hair. So like she keeps it going, but like I want to help. I want to get her to help me with the female side of it, right? Just to represent both sides. Excuse me. And yeah. So anyway, so start of the season to finish of the season. Maybe we can like. Reva and I can get on the phone or have another stupid ass Zoom meeting and come up with like cycle through the PowerPoint presentation and pick people's hair apart, no pun intended, and figure out who we're gonna vote for and come up with a stupid prize. But it's all being fun and like something to I don't know. Put some individuality out there on the line because we all got crazy stuff going on. I think it'd be funny, but cool if you want to participate. But it'll be a prize for me and a prize from Pulaski Shovels Them In. I'll make Brandon throw something in too. But
I'll definitely throw down, dude.
Yeah. And nothing crazy big. No no money involved. But I don't know. Just a pride and power thing.
Tell you what, dude. I'll make a trophy. I got you see my garage, dude. I got a full
a trophy is involved. Now, man, you make me want to enter this contest.
Dude, come on, man. We got to have like a ridiculous trophy.
I think so. And maybe if we could get whoever's participating and wins, like a part of the terms and agreement or terms and conditions rather is it's a traveling trophy.
There it is. It gets passed on.
Yeah,
like, dude, it would be better. Like whoever wins it this year, they add on to it.
And I also think this too. Maybe I'll hit my artist up if I can round up the like side funds that don't mean anything to do it, but make a shirt. This is not certain, but I like this idea now that it just hit me. Make a shirt, and the male will get a shirt with my silhouette and beard and hair. I won't be in the picture, but it's be like just my hair, long hair, shadow type of thing, silhouette. And then the female can have like this Reva Duncan big hair for theirs. I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
I like it.
Yeah, but I think it'd be fun for folks, something to look forward to, and I don't know. Take your mind off looking stupid while you're growing your hair out.
Well, it's either like, you got two options, right? You got crazy hair, you got like long locks, luscious locks, right? You got long hair, you got the skullet, you got the mullet.
No fades.
The fades played, dude. It's old news, dude. Come on, man. I rock a fade. So does every other jabroni out there.
I'll tell you what, man, and you save a couple bucks, no haircuts. You know what I mean? I haven't had a haircut in like a 12-year minute. Yeah, anyway, so think about it. Do it if you want to do it. Have fun doing it and blah, blah, blah. Who cares?
Do it.
Yeah.
Dude, no, I like it, man.
Good.
I love to see those like long, gorgeous mops.
I do too.
Just bring it out, dude. Just let it go.
Yeah. Let that Samson stuff flow. Palomalu. Get the Head and Shoulders commercials out. Yeah. So that's what I got. Man, what a roller coaster since I was last on here. The ass movement blew up. Meat Eater folks mentioned me.
Let's talk about this
Man.
like the whole ass movement thing, dude. Because I've been repping your shit, dude. And I'm like,
And I love you for that. Like,
I got some love for that whole thing because there's nothing more than I hate in the world than someone taking a giant dump on a beautiful place.
it's a shitty cross to bear. Sometimes, like,
Literally.
yeah. And I get, dude.
You get some haters or what?
No. I get to, I post this stuff and you guys see a fraction of what I get and I see it all. And like, again, like
you get like the war correspondent stuff.
I'm seeing the bloody bodies of surface shits out there.
Oof.
And some of them I post and some of them I get busy too, man. I got a life as well.
Everybody does. Man.
So if you've sent me stuff and I haven't posted it and it's worthy, like legitimately worthy, and I'm not just like, nah, it ain't worth it, but send it to me again. And like the storyline, sometimes I don't get to check my phone for 2 days if I'm on a fire or something, and then the story goes away and I don't see it, and like I got to beg these people to like resend it, and like, well, I can't, I'm already gone, and yada yada. Anyway, but yeah, man, I see the nastiest of the nasty for that stuff, and
you see the horrors
like,
of humanity.
Yes, yeah, dude.
Oh, God.
And like have nightmares over this, like somebody surface shitted all around me, like in some ceremonial like death cult where it's just all surface shits. And but man, it's cool. The Meat Eater gang, who I respect, and
I love those guys.
I do too, cool. And they're getting some hate.
No,
they're getting some hate because they're blowing stuff. I know, but
everybody gets haters.
They're blowing places up allegedly.
That's what I was talking about. But that cynicism shit. Man. It's so easy. It's that cop out maneuver to like hate on somebody and tear someone down.
But you know, one of my favorite sayings about humanity is like 51% good, and that could mean 99% good, but 51 to 99% good. But I always just say 51% good because it's the majority. It's like a poll, and so
it's a majority.
Yeah, it's the majority, and so they're 51% good in the sense like they're bringing a lot of people that didn't get into hunting or that didn't see the side of like hunting, as far as like providing subsistence for your family, or like, eating, whatever organic type of food, which I'm about. And,
healthy lifestyle.
Man, I got the Meat Eater cookbook and their chili is bomb. You got to go buy that book if you don't have it. But I mean, there's everything from fish and all kinds of like, meat and birds and all the stuff to cook up. But man, they're showing, it's like kind of like this, like you're doing. I mean, they're showing people the inside and the belly and providing a means and an educational tool to get these dudes that have lived in the city their whole life. And like, man, I can't go hunt or fish. There's no, like, no, you can. And there's a river like right over there at the bridge you cross every day in your stupid car to the commute.
Dude, people fishing downtown Reno.
I know, dog.
Under the bridge, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, Anthony Kiedis is down there shooting up and they're fishing next to him and there's no excuses.
No.
And so if you want to take back your power and if you want to like you at least experience it or teach your kids.
Just reconnecting with nature, man.
Bingo,
ethically.
Man.
That's the thing I appreciate most about Meat Eater is like they always preach ethics. Like if you don't got a clean shot, don't take it. If you are going to rough handle a fish, don't even do it.
Yeah. And don't kill an animal unless you're going to harvest the meat.
Yep.
And legitimately, I mean, these guys are like scraping on a white-tailed deer, and not many people do this, but they're like scraping the rib meat out of in between the ribs. And it's like, it's tough work, man. And
it's hard.
I've harvested a couple of moose from roadkill, and it's hard work, dude. I mean, it ain't over.
Dead meat, dude. It's hard. It's heavy. It's like,
and when that's over, it ain't over. Like you still got to deal with it and process it after it's hung.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, those dudes, man. And
it gets you. I think it gives you a better understanding of reality of what it takes to like live.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When you have to take and this is going to sound savage, especially for the people out there that are like seasoned or haven't experienced like hunting, fishing, anything like that. But like you go and buy your meat from a store, right?
Factory farm stuff, baby.
Factory farm stuff, right? You get that. I mean,
the ulcer of the earth.
It's terrible, right? It's terrible. And like, if you look at it, big picture stuff, I mean, I eat it. I know what's going on, but I'm vehemently aware of what goes on.
It's a necessary evil sometimes.
To a degree, right?
Yep.
It's not like everybody has like luxury to go hunt.
No, but the point is what you're saying, I think too, is like when these kids grow up and think like food comes from the grocery store. And
it comes. Man. Something gave its life to sustain yours, and there is a certain humility about understanding the true work and gravity of that.
Absolutely,
the true gravity of that.
Yeah, and so I'm very grateful to those dudes, and I respect them. They mentioned me by name, and this is a little bit of ego talking, but Ranella did say he was jealous of my last name, and I was like, oh man, it made me feel good inside, and I don't want to talk about that too much because I can already feel the helium in my head getting tight. But so when they did that, I had an overwhelming response on the website and through stupid ass sales. And I'm not trying to make $1 million by any means. I mean, I give, how I give stuff away all the time. Like last night, just handing these stuff out. Yeah. And it doesn't matter. Not tooting my horn. I'm just saying, like, I just don't care about that money that much. I want to like make my time worth it, but that's it. And pay for the product for the yeah, exactly.
Back to the community.
Bingo.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. And so when they did that, I had a substantial influx when they invoked my name, and so I rolled it back over and had paid for a advertisement, aka advertisement, on one of the meat eater chain podcasts called Cal's Week in Review, which is Ryan Callahan, one of his right hand men. And by the way, that dude fights hard for public land,
good,
big time.
I mean, all right, so pump the brakes here. Like, there's no greater conservationist and like fighter for public land. Well, there's great people out there, but like wildland firefighters, at the end of the day, you're a conservationist.
Yeah.
I'll say it, man.
No, it's true. It's the light hand on the land. If you haven't listened to the first podcast, it is episode 32 with you. That was my very first one. This is like number 7 now. I bounced all over and done all these other podcasts, and I'm grateful for it.
Dude, what was that one podcast you were on? The dude out of AK.
Oh man, that was
a good podcast.
That guy, he made me sound good. That guy nailed it. He's like Brian Regan from Shittown, from NPR. This guy had an NPR voice. Crude Magazine is called Crude Conversations. If you want to look that one up, that was one of my best performances. Only again because like I was sitting next to greatness, so to speak. Like the dude nailed it. And he asked good questions.
He's a good like
stuff I'd been asked.
Yeah,
and he's just trying to have conversations. I made like top 5 on his podcast for that year, and he ran that down again. But so I turned some money over back to the Meat Eater gang and paid for it, and it was expensive, but I earned it from them anyway. So like it was kind of a whatever back scratch.
It's like net neutral, right?
It was
carbon neutral.
It was carbon neutral. Yeah. But anyway, and I got that on my phone, and I like to listen to it to make me laugh. And this like it's so vain sounding. I hated that he read every word I put, because I put in there like a little mini bio of who I am, like I am a wildland firefighter, and so he like read it all. And normally they do like a 30 to 60 seconds is your time window.
Clip, yeah.
Yep. And it was a 2.5 minute, like a minute and a half or something stupid, way over
over.
And I listened to it, and I'm like, it cracked me up. And I was like at Billings Hell Attack when it came out and it dropped, and it's just a freaking commercial. Who cares? But we put it up, and I was just cracking up, and then I was kind of cringing because he read every word I fucking typed.
It wasn't intentional.
No, it was not
like
intentional.
You're like throwing some flavor in there. Like, this is not supposed to be read.
This is who I am, right? And he read who I am. I'm like, dog, come on. But yeah, man, those guys. And then Bear Hunting Magazine, which is or was headed by Clay Newcomb, who's also a Meat Eater guy now. But Bear Hunting Magazine has a writer named Timothy Fowler, and he's got a podcast called Elevate Your Game, and he had me on talking about A.S.S movement. It's a hunting, and this dude's a chef and a journalist, writer, and a hunter. He's from Alberta, Canada. And he hit me up not too far after me showing up on your podcast for the A.S.S movement, and he wrote an article and had me included in it with like a good couple paragraphs and some of my art that I sketched up for Nicole Christian, and mentioned me there. So like, it's just crazy, man, when you put yourself out there. And it's like I was saying, all that lovey-dovey crap earlier. Like when you put yourself out there, man, shit's gonna happen. Especially if you've read Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. I talk about that all the time because it's so sacred. But when you put yourself out there, things are gonna happen, and it doesn't gonna happen like machine gun fire unless you're, I don't know, biking across the country or losing 400 pounds Goggins style. Like I didn't even know that stuff when you told me. I thought it was just like the next military story, and I've done all that stuff. I haven't done all that stuff. I'm not like
well,
that.
You've been through the service, right?
I've been through the service, but so I'm not a veteran. I'm not like Walter Sobchak. And do you know? I got a joke. and this is not meant to be offensive, but do you know how 2 Vietnam veterans screwed in a light bulb? That's right. You don't know because you weren't fucking there, man. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm grateful for, I don't know. You put yourself out there and let your light shine, and people are going to bag it up and put it in their lantern. And that's an inside joke to, National Park Disc Service, who makes fun of all the lanterns.
I love those guys.
Man,
but that's the thing, though. That's the thing. Is like, I'm a firm believer of like, and I've said that, I don't know how many times I've said this on the podcast, right? Like talking to people is like they're doing something truly like bigger than themselves, right? And there's a million of you out there. You mean a
million of us?
A million of us. Well,
the royal us.
I guess like a million people that are doing something bigger than us, right?
Yeah.
Bigger than themselves. How about
there
that?
We go. There
How
we go.
about that?
They, them, themselves.
They, them, themselves. They're doing something bigger than themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of people out there, but the thing is that I'm a firm believer in like, if you put the right energy out in the world, you put positivity out there and nothing but love. Just like this whole episode has been about, man.
Yep.
Sharing the love, connecting with people on a human level.
Yep. Amen.
Enriching someone's life.
Mm-hmm.
The universe is going to come back to you tenfold.
It's going to respond, man.
It's going to come back to you tenfold, man.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. So
and boom, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Another episode of the Anchor Point Podcast is in the books with my good buddy Micah Booze, aka the A.S. Man. Booze, it's been good to see you, man. And yeah, I definitely dig your philosophy. I hope everybody listening to this first part of this 2-part episode got some little nuggets of gold out of it. So anyways, tune back in for the next little session, and it'll be coming out next week. So it should give you adequate time to finish this part, and be sure to tune in for the next one. Dude's got some interesting philosophy. He's got some good style. I like it. So take notes. Yeah, you can be the catalyst of change in this world. Always keep that in mind. Anyways, we got a special shout out to our sponsors. We got Mystery Ranch, makers of the finest damn packs in the damn game, and they're giving back to the community in a big way. Go over to www.mysteryranch.com and check out the Backbone series. And we got Hotshot Brewery, purveyors of the finest damn coffee in the damn nation. It's kick-ass coffee for a kick-ass cause, and a portion of the proceeds always go back to the Wildland Firefighter Foundation. Go over to www.hotshotbrewing.com and check them out. We've got the A.S. movement, but this is kind of like one of those branded episodes, I guess. So yeah, you get enough advertisements out of this one. Anyways, go over to www.thefirewild.com and check out the A.S. movement. And last but not least, we've got the Smoky Generation, aka the American Wildfire Experience. So go over to www.wildfireexperience.org and check out all they have to offer. Keep it up, Bethany. Got a kick-ass organization. For the rest of you, y'all know the drill. Stay safe, stay savage. Peace.